and you're just pulled along and directed by what pops up in your life. And that determines what you do, where you go, how you act. There has to be more. This couldn't be it. Today, I'm sharing with you a few practices that can help you be more intentional in your life, have a little bit more purpose and direction and clarity when it comes to living, so that you don't feel like you're living in a real life Groundhog Day, doing the same things, reacting to the same stimuli day after day with the same reactions, with the same people doing the same thing from sun up to sundown. We've been programmed to think that that is all that life is, and that is normal. Like, it is normal because that's what most people do, but we as creators can live life so much more richly than that. What we want is to have a plan, have direction of our own design, and not just allow life's circumstances to direct and dictate how we show up in the world. When I felt like I was living in default mode, I had a lack of direction. I wasn't clear about my purpose or what I was doing stuff for. Like, I didn't have any guidelines for how I would show up in the world, how I would make decisions, how I would act. Now, not to say that I was out here just willy-nilly. Like, I have a consciousness that guides me on how to do these things, but at the same time, you can live intuitively and still get to where you need to go, but at the same time, you don't know where you're going. So living with purpose gives you that direction. A lot of us that are connected to our divinity, we have an internal aversion to that being it for us. You're not just satisfied with mediocre. Like, I refuse to just be satisfied with surviving. I want to thrive in life. I want to feel the richness of life. I want to, even if I don't have tons of money right now, I don't have to be spending money to enjoy life. Dissatisfaction with life, it's an inside job for you to feel that connection and purpose for what it is you're here to do. When you are a free thinker, you start to figure out, or at least attempt to figure out, what you're here for. In the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. Abraham Lincoln. I want to live a life of daring adventure. I want to live a life that feels meaningful and that I see the value of my contribution. I want to make sure I am leading my life. I'm the captain of my ship. I am living purposefully and creatively. Life is always guiding us. Life is always teaching us, and life is always giving us a way to fulfill our soul's purpose. So when we are going about our days, just going along to get along, not paying attention to the signs and symbols, you're just pulled along and directed by what pops up in your life. And that determines what you do, where you go, how you act. All the things that we could be picking up on that make life meaningful and rich. There's no coincidences. I want it to mean something to me. I don't want it to just be, oh, there's a red bird, or oh, there's 777 again. You have to make your life mean what you want it to mean. Like, we're already guiding our lives. There's a red bird. Do you really feel like that was a coincidence? That was literally a red bird just flew past me. So to me, I'm like, okay, so I'm on the right track. Like, I'm talking about something that needs to be talked about. We can make anything in our life mean whatever we want it to mean. Like, this is your game to play. Make it as meaningful or meaningless as you want to. Like, what would you prefer? Would you want it to just be just coincidence? Or when you live your life thinking the universe is conspiring to fulfill my destiny, my wishes, and working in my best interest, why not choose something that makes your life more imaginative, more adventurous, more fanciful, more even delusional? Be delusional. Why not? Why not make shit mean whatever's in your best interest, even if your outside circumstances may not be pointing at the same thing? We are here to play the game. For the people that it don't even cross their mind to do something different than the regular life that the system has created for us to live, I cannot understand that at all. And not looking down on those people. Like, I just don't understand not questioning the given circumstance, especially when it feels disconnected or not in alignment. And that's where I was. We can ask for what it is that we want to show up in our lives. We can imagine it. We can manifest all of it. So instead of just sitting back and watching life happen and responding after it does, why not take the reins of our lives in our own hands and figure out what it is that we want to show up in our lives, the type of lives that we want to live, and be intentional. One of the ways that we can find direction for our lives is to create a North Star for ourselves. And one of the ways that I looked at this is when I am on my deathbed, and maybe you've thought about this question before too, but when I'm on my deathbed, what do I want to have done in my life? How do I want to have spent my life? How do I want to have given back? How do I want to have impacted those around me? What legacy do I want to leave? That helped me create my North Star so that it can help me in my decisions moving forward, in the way that I show up, for the actions that I take, for the thoughts that I think. A North Star just gives you direction for the life you're creating, the life you're designing. And once you have your North Star, you can have a more detailed plan and goals to reach that go along with your life vision, the one you just created when thinking about when you're on your deathbed, what do you want? Number one is, what are your strengths? Number two, who are your real life heroes and what do you admire about them? Number three is, what values are most important to you? Number four, if money were no object, how would you spend your time? Number five, what legacy do you want to leave behind? Number six, when do you feel most satisfied and fulfilled in your life? And number seven, if you could solve one problem in the world, what would it be? Once we really take charge and realize that we are the operant power, we're creators, we have creative power. You can be the person that you want to be. You can have what you want to have. All you need is to get clear about it and take actions toward it, and not allow society or everyday living to steer you away from your North Star. Some people might think, if we're really in control of creating our own lives, then what does fate have to do with it? It's my belief that fate is like a video game. So if you make this choice, this is going to be your fate. And this is constantly changing because the next choice can take you this way. And so it's not like a set, okay, I'm born, this is my fate, this is what it's going to be. Your fate is based on your day-to-day choices. You are still creating your reality. So what fate do you want? Make the choices to get that fate. In order to live life purposefully, you have to keep growing as a person. You have to keep evolving. You have to keep leveling up and developing yourself. We don't have to grind it out to get what we want in life. Everything is energy. So if you can master that part of creating your reality, then that's half the battle right there. It's more than half the battle. You got to keep learning how you can influence your reality so that you can become better and better at getting what you want. A lot of people are too scared to admit that they have that much control over their lives, because if stuff doesn't turn out the way that they want it to turn out, then who they gonna blame? So a lot of people just continue doing the bare minimum to get by. If you don't want to take on that role and step into your power, then you can easily just blame other people when stuff goes wrong, which is a lot easier than blaming yourself and then having the responsibility of figuring it out. Once you have your North Star, you have to get clear about some actionable goals. All actionable goals should answer the question, what, when, why, and how. I'm going to work out 3 times this week at the gym at 5 o'clock for 30 minutes on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So my solution is to reflect on your values, define your purpose, set clear, actionable goals, create a vision, develop a plan, and celebrate the small things. Some people might actually have a hard time creating a vision for their life because they lack creativity, because we're told what to do most of the time. Like, we lose our ability to be creative and to make stuff up and to be imaginative. But it's like a muscle. You have to work it. You have to exercise it in order for it to get stronger. So start with something simple to tap back into your creativity, because we all have it. We had it when we were little children, and then it was stamped out of us through school. But we ain't gonna worry about that. We gonna get it back. That's what we gonna do. Another struggle you can have is you don't know where to start, but I've given you some tips in this video to help you with that. So hopefully that's not an excuse any longer, and you're going to give some of the tips that I suggested a try. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please do subscribe, like, comment, share, all the things, and check out this video next. If you like this one, I am sure you will thoroughly enjoy that one.